Good evening, everyone. Gvids here. We're in Port Stanley doing some catfish fishing here. I'm just going to quickly show you the rig that we're going to be using. I got to rig it up on my second rod, so I thought I would just quickly show you guys on how to kind of do that and what you may need to kind of get everything going. This is super simple. Nothing is fancy dancy here. Obviously, we need a fresh line, so let's just get this right off here. I'm going to cut this. This is just a shatter bait that I was using on my last little fishing trip there. But now we're going for catfish, so let's get rid of this. And everything that I've gotten for this rig was from Temu. Now, not to say you can go anywhere if you want. You want to go to Amazon or your local fishing shop. They will have all this stuff as well. Temu is super cheap, though. I got all this stuff for under $20. So those are just floating beads, floating pegs, and then some bobber stoppers, and then some sinker weights, and then a little attachment there to hold the weight. Again, you can use other methods for this. This is just the rig that I'm using here. It's super simple, nothing too fancy. So that's a little riggy thing there. Attach our weight into that, so you can kind of adjust the sizes for your body of water. That's kind of why I like it. If you got a heavy current or you want a heavier weight, it does allow you to change that up fairly easy. Those are just like 40-gram teardrop weights, I do believe. Now the bobber stoppers right here, they come in all different sizes. I have 12-pound braided lines, so it is actually quite thin of line, so I did just get the smallest set that I could find. Now there are bigger ones for thicker line, and so on and so on. Now this is when your eyes come into play. My eyes are absolutely horrendous, and I have troubles finding the loop, but you just run your line through the loop and then go ahead and pull the bead off onto your line. That's going to be obviously the first thing you're going to want to start with is a bobber stopper, just to kind of hold our little weight contraption there from moving up. Now again, if it ends up sliding over it, because my bobber stoppers are only a generic size for my line, which is the smallest, and this weight thing, it slides right over top of my bobber stoppers. So that's kind of a pain. That's alright. We're just gonna improvise here and go ahead and find some split shots, if I can find some. And nope. So I'm just going to grab a small little split shot there, since my bobber stoppers aren't holding my little weight thing there. So it's alright. I am going to throw a few extras bobber stoppers on there, because sometimes my little split shots like to slide, and I don't like to pinch them too hard, because that just creates a I just put my hand in poop. Yep. Geese poop. That's alright. Yeah, so like I was saying, I don't really like to squeeze the living snot out of my split shots onto my line there. For one, it can damage the line and give it a weak point. So let's just get this thing back on there. Now I have one bobber stopper on there. This thing isn't really holding it, but it is a little bit, but it definitely slides over. So we're just going to slap a little split shot, just a tiny one on there. Probably can't see it very well. Just to kind of hold everything in place. Now we're going to get another, I'm just going to throw another bobber stopper on there to kind of help the split shot from moving as well. And then we'll go to basically onto the floaty part of the rig. Now the idea of these rigs, obviously, oh man, I can't see that thing, is to suspend our baits off the ground just a little bit, so it's more in a strike zone. I do have some rattlers coming in. I haven't fully tested if the rattles really make a big diff or not. I am going to test that out. I'm going to have two rods, one with some rattlers set up and one without, and just see if it does make any difference or not. But that's later on, so you guys want to check that out, you can stick around. So yeah, we got another bobber stopper on there. So now we can set up our beads. You can choose any color you want. That's the beauty of buying your own pieces like this instead of like buying preset rigs or whatever you want to call them. This way you can design the colors the way you want. You can change them up. You can add bigger, smaller, whatever you want. It is completely up to you. And honestly, catfish are practically blind, so I really don't feel color coordination is that big of a deal. But you can most certainly play around with it if you do choose to do so. It is kind of a pain to get them in there. Like if I was going to add a rattler, I would probably add them just at the very in between those two first beads, and then again in between the last two beads near the bottom of the hook. We'll get to the hook in just a moment. I'm not going too crazy. I like to just keep it simple. I've always been that way when I fished. I've never been too big on going extravagant. Now let's get another bobber stopper on there to hold everything in place there. Again, if you have some rattlers, you're more than you can add a few of those in there as well. You can find them also on Amazon or Amazon Temu, any fishing store. But Temu is really cheap. Like I said, I got all this stuff for under $20. Now the only thing we're not using, I got some fluff on my old line, is the hooks. I did not get the hooks from Temu, or I did get them from Amazon, but they're Berkeley 4-odd circle hooks. They're a very nice, thick, strong hook, and compared to the ones on Temu, yeah, I wouldn't suggest necessarily grabbing hooks from Temu. These are just floaty things. There's nothing wrong with that. Temu can't really mess them up, so there's nothing wrong with using those. Now with hooks, I don't really want to put that trust in there. So with hooks, yeah, I definitely don't mind spending a few dollars extra and just getting some good name brand hooks. And there we have it, a nice simple catfish rig. I like to bring this rig down to about maybe 1.5 to 2 inches away from my hook, and then I bring the weight down roughly about maybe 1.5 to 2 feet. I'm just estimating roughly away from the hook as well. That way it gives it a little bit of suspension time there. It can kind of hang out. And yeah, let's just get these babies out there and see if we can catch a fish. All right, guys, let's get the weight on there so we can actually launch it. Super easy, nice little clip, perfect. You can't go wrong with that. We're using chicken liver tonight. I have some really, really rancid stuff. I left it outside for 2 days, and it is just horrendous. So we're gonna catch a fish off that for sure. So let's get these lines out there, get that stinky chicken liver on, and see what we're gonna get. Holy shit! Yes, sir, we got a fish on. All right. It's not feeling too big, not too small either. Oh, this is beautiful. Absolutely perfect. Beautiful night here. Catching some kitty cats. It wasn't on the rig that we just rigged up, but it was just on the line beside it, guys. And honestly, I don't feel like it makes much of a difference. But in this location here, we've been catching some nice kitty cats, and I actually been catching some perch too off my small rod when I'm waiting, which is just perfect because I bring those guys home for a nice little snack. All right, let's get this line in here. Oh, get the net. A little bit of a pain in the butt here trying to net them, since there is like maybe a 2.5 foot gap there, or a 3 foot gap leading from the water. But, oh, we got a beautiful little kitty cat. All right, let's get this girl in here and check what we're going to see here. Get a little look at it, get the hook out of her, and holy shit. There we go. Absolutely amazing. So the rigs definitely work, guys. I have actually tested these rigs out on a non-rigged line and a rigged line. And these rigs definitely bring in fish a lot more than in a non-rigged up line. For bait wise, guys, catching catfish is fairly easy. Anything dead, stinky, fishy, you'll get them. Just let them out there and be patient. Anyways, let's get this hook out of this girl here. Sorry about the old perfect camera work we got going on. But you guys are just checking out the old Crocs. My daughter got these for me for Christmas. Absolutely amazing gift. Very comfy. Oh, come on. This hook is buried inside of his chin. Oh, come on, buddy. There we go. No, not yet. Son of a... I don't want to pull on his whiskers either. Sorry, man. There we go. That thing was buried deep down into his cheek. I'm all tangled up here. Let's see if we can get a little look at this thing, if I can actually get it on camera. There we go. Beautiful little channel. Alright, let's just get this girl back in there so she can grow another day. Thanks for the fight, kitty cat. Now off you go back in there and swim for another day. Oh man. Anyways, guys, I really do hope everyone enjoyed themselves today. I hope you guys can catch a whole bunch of fishies off these rigs. If you guys did enjoy yourselves, make sure you do share, like, and subscribe. And I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.